What could be some of the responses? Just to enumerate some of the possible responses are one response could be desire for God, desiring for Him. Desiring for God as person, or desiring God in a divine, the things that are of above, the things that are divine, the things that are noble. And this is what desire for God. Psalm 42 verse 1 and 2, Psalm 63 verses 1 and 2. An earnest and passionate longing for God, because God will satisfy the thirst and hunger within us. A psalmist would say, as a deer longs for the flowing streams, so my soul longs for you, O God. Longing of our heart for God, longing of our heart for the divine, longing of our heart for noble things, the spiritual things, the things of above. In different words we see. So therefore, ultimately our response is desiring God Himself. The second response could be, remove your shoes. Remove your shoes. Exodus chapter 3 verse 5. God is asking Moses in the mountain of God to remove his sandals. Remove his sandals from his feet and to appear before God barefooted. And barefooted because to experience God as He is. A deep sense of respect, reverence, and adoration is needed as we enter into the divine presence. And this is what a retreat is. Retreat is not something doing, but it is just being in the presence of God. So in that presence of God, what we see is that is the respect, the reverence, and the adoration, because the place we are standing is a holy ground, a holy place. It's not only the place, but the space that we occupy. Next response is waiting and listening. Waiting and listening. 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 1 to 11. The whole story of Samuel, how he is waiting and listening. You know this context. Boy Samuel has to silence himself in order to wait and listen the voice of God. He was running again and again to Eli, and he was not sure what is happening. And Eli is the one who taught him. And therefore, he was learning to wait and listen, to listen to the gentle whispering voice of God. And that whispering of God, and then there is a relationship established. A covenant was cemented, and one should have an attitude of listening in the retreat. And that is why we insist this silence, the silence of the lips, silence of the mind, and the silence of the heart. And therefore, take silence as the tool to experience God.